All right. So in the middle of page Muhammad. Yes. Sorry, the lighting is not so great, but okay. Um, so in the middle of talk, it's the middle of talking of this about this bindiness of the levels of his bindiness to bring to Avas Hashem. So now we're in the middle of talking about the fact that he started in the page Hashem Zion, the bottom. Kol Shkei is binding the beginning Krivas Neshama Soul Hashem Hashem. Spoke about the connection of the Eden to the Abraham. That makes the Ava even stronger. Now, in the middle of page Hashem Ches, it says that supposed to be about the Chagav, that the Malachim, the beetle of the Seraphim, is also Kodesh Kodesh Abayit's focus. The Shoah Matzah Shenisr for. We're going back to the lines. Even the Shamas is going Madregish and Kodesh Hashem Avaye, even the Shamas is sold to Kodesh Hashem Avaye, Pirush Kodesh Hashem's voice. So he says, the Malachim say Kodesh Kodesh Hashem's voice means that the Eibush is removed from them. That's why they're Sofim, Shenisofim, Rishpet Shukah, the Kol Be'eravai. Because the Eibush is so removed from them, this is why they want. This is why they have this Shukah, these colors. And the Shamas saw Shukah, Voy Madregish, and Koyim Hashem Avaye. The Shamas saw a different level. They, like you said earlier in the Maimon, Ashalayikim Koyim Meilov, that they are closer to Avaye. So what does it mean by them when they say Kodesh? Yesh Kodesh Avaye Tzvois, Yesh Hashvach Tzvois. Sherish Neshamas is so that fakir that when the Neshamas is also say Kodesh Havaya Tzvokas means fakir that Hashem that Havaya is close to them. Okay, Nikon Neshamas B'Shem Kodesh, and that's why Neshamas is all called Kodesh. Ma'amar Azal Asikim Tzadikim Shem Lefneim Kodesh. The Gemara says that also love it, and the Tzadikim will also be called Kodesh. Mikol Makoim. So the neshamas is so closer, but even they have this feeling that they need to get closer, and that's why they have the tshuka, the ava. Come, ein arach dushas havaya ba'atzim. It's true that tzaddikim also kodesh and shem havaya, Hashem havaya p'nes tzvayis shem soul. Havaya is connected to them. Kol makom ein arach dushas havaya ba'atzim. Still, shaloi be'er to the Eibush himself. Ma'amar azab medashav al pasuk doshim ti, the famous medrash in the beginning of Pashas Gedoshim, Yochal Kamayit Lamed Tavetlemet Kodesh Onik Geshas and Ma'amek Geshas. That the Eibush Kedusha is higher. And it says that's Pshat. She'inin Gedushas the Kedusha of his soul, Gedushas Avaya Hashem Asher Ben Shemes his soul. That's the holiness that dwells in the Shemes soul. Mikosh Kon Dekim Atom Mitzvah Shalem. Especially, like I said earlier, Tutei Mitzvah is the rich even higher. Mikol Kedusha Sas Yom Milo. The Eibush himself is even higher. She'in Arichel of Klal. That's an expression from Piyut Igdal. That the holiness of the Eibush is shalai be'er to everybody else. If she's buying, we call zeh. So that's part of these bindings. Because binding we call zeh. Shatzmus is mufla we call geder elegam. Eibush themselves mufla is moved and lofty and above called Geder Oil Gam. Come this time to Misavish by Lamois, which is Nasal Gam is so the club all over before. Yeah, this is this minus Toxintania about. There's always bone, and that is part the fact that Abraham is higher than removed from everything. And in his sons and his Slavic well, he contracted himself and he floated in the elements and to the well and Ami saw the cloud. But all over before that's what it says I think in Tanya and Peg Mamal. I don't remember another place. B'kvayim Hazal and Yechot Shbach Hazayin Metachteni V'Shnas Am Yisrael Hazai Kamayim Aponim Laponim this life is like Nafshel the Kol Bat Lichot Amiti. So that is Boinanus is another path to bring the feeling of Ava. When somebody is loved, if he feels how loved he is, that inspires him, that awakens with him the love to the one who loves him. Ava Elohim. Kamoy Marshall is another Marshall, Mashpia Makabel. When there's a Mashpia and Makabel, let's say again, a teacher, a student, Mashpia Ir Ava Viskaus Yare, and the Mashpia shows Ava Viskaus Makabel shows a special love and closeness to the Makabel, to the student. So what is this entire discussion? It's a very long discussion that he started talking about a few pages ago. He's basically, if you remember, he started talking about there's the Keches Nefesh, the way it is, Keches Atzum, each Keches itself. Then there's these colors. Now he's talking the way it is in Avodas Hashem. So he says, Ken nimtza kol in the especially is gal kach nefesh is so what he's trying to bring out, what he's bringing out here is that all ava, the entire feeling of ava to the Eibush, all these levels of his bonus that he spoke about, all this is partial, is gal kach nefesh. It's the expansion, it's the extension, it's the expression of the nefesh. Because the nefesh wants to connect the nefesh. It's an expression. Hina say yiur is the opposite. It's kibutz nefesh for eder gil. Yiur means the nefesh is contracted, verquetscht. Eder gil. Shemam tzad richel delikus mal. So that is a result of this bonus in the richel. Because the after Matan Torah, because they were very far from fear, so that kind of fear. That's the opposite is bonus. I mean, in a way, it's similar, but it's bonus how remove these. So the first is bonus how remove these creates a feeling of yearning to connect. This is bonus is talking about here creates the opposite feeling of the fear, wanting of feeling far, feeling removed. It says, we see that in the marshal, in the melech lamata, shebachma shamud min am v'yesh soga b'cheder echad pnimo, because the king is always removed from the nation, from the people. Yesh so and always sits on his own, closed up in his own room, in his palace. Okay, that causes a feeling of awe in the people. If the king would have been in a state of closeness, he was always mingle with the people, then they wouldn't feel so much. I'll say that a good Talmid Chacham should be always in a state separate from everybody. Why? They should give a muscle. In order that the people should have fear and awe of them. They should be removed. They should not mingle with the people. Similar says by the Melech, Shein Goich Me'al Susay, V'Mishma Kisay. Same Tasim Lech Melech Shtei Masel Lecha. The Gemara says, Shtei Masel Lecha, that you don't do things that make you feel equal to him. You have to feel I remove these. So that is that. So we see in halacha two types. When you get Talmid Chacham, when you get to Melech, the distance creates a feeling of ema, fear, of respect. So the name shall be Lamaila. There is money. Has to yourself. Move the Menusa Maila. Mistipal Lavaya of Pachad. So that brings these bonus that will move the Menusa. So the Eibush himself is removed. That brings the feeling of ear of Pachad or fear. Nimshal Knes Bittul Nafshal Alikus. And that creates a feeling of beat. Like I just said, okay, so he touches that point which I just made. Earlier we said that when when you contemplate how we move these, that creates a feeling of yearning. Here it says the opposite. That contemplate how we move these, you create a feeling of awe. So how do you reconcile these things? So the difference is like the sham. When it talks about the isbonus of Ava, it's the explanation itself quite because when isbonus brings the Ava, where does that saga come from? How does it come to the contemplation, to that level of understanding? That the Rebbe itself is menusam through the Ha'am is Mistabeshes. He sees the Ha'am, he sees the Rebbe's power in this world that gives life, that gives that enliven, gives life, gives energy, sustains reality, and that brings them to the next step. The etzem, the source is no Shall Cain. What? It's like I'm missing a page. Shall Cain lo yachas Hashem sachar al. That's why he's not going to want to stay connected since he recognized both. There's a holy kiss, which is Lubitch Boilemus, and there's the Essence from Eilashal. Came Lo Yachas, and what is the result of that? It's bonus Lo Yachas, and Shem Terchel, asking like, Kol, Basa Terchel, Shazep, Avenue page. So when he sees both sides, he sees that aspect of Halikud that's a whole, that's connected, that gives life to us. And he feels from that he derives the Mele. So when he sees both, so what feeling does it bring in him? He says, I don't want to connect it only to the lower level. I'm yearning to connect to the higher level. So that is type of his mind that brings out. אבל in היום, זה שמרגיש בעצם in הפלוס הרמס לא עושה הסבר שמוף המרום, הם כנסה לכיס המבש את החלום הסינר למפר. The mind that brings the era is a different type. It's the type that's a result of the recognition how the atom is מרום ומופלא. ואף שזה בא גם כן על ידי, אחרי הזבנס בפרטים גדולה של חיי הנמס, that level of his bonus is also a result and a continuation of this bonus in the likus from higher. And as we call them, Ika Ergashlo, Basim Sarah Shamu, or Kain about Knesir, Kibbutz Nefesh Bitla likus. So he gave us a description of these two types of feeling, the result of two types of contemplation. But in other words, what aspects of the contemplation teach us, come to the conclusion that the Eibush is removed, but that goof, he says that two depends on what is stressed over here. In the first one, he feels the highest activity gives him life, and from that he derives that there's a higher level. The male level his direction is that he's not satisfied. The lower level of Gilikus is yearning for a higher level of Gilikus. In the second is Bainanus, what the main direction of his Bainanus is how he moved the Eibush. That creates a feeling of fear. Gam, so the question this doesn't answer. Gam שיש גם אבא שכנסה גשבת צר לשמע מהר הגאוס. קודם כל בשם אבא. But it says there is a level of Ava that's a result of the recognition of the Eibush is above everything, which is called Ava. There is Peyesh. So what is the answer to that? This is not something that comes from this brain. This is something that's an inspiration that comes from above. The Eibush gives it. For any kilo of Avukam and Tzutzis, that's like a toxin perfect for today because it says that's the There's the situation of Sales in Tshuva, Kil HaMoyer and Nitzas, Shekol and Nitzas, and Sas and Captain Lera Avuk, about King, Tal and Nefesh, Shalom, Salem, Elo, the Kol Batim Soy. So this Ava, which is a result of feeling remove the Eibishter, is that something that's not a result of his brain. That's something that comes Milamayla. The real loss is the loss of Kil HaVukal and Nitzas. The touch connects to the sparks that come from him. In the Lashon, in the Chaim, is Kil HaMoyer Lanitza. The source of light connects to the sparks that come from him. Which means that it's a Gila Milamayla. Okay, Tala Nefesh Shalav Asel Me'el. אבל איזה מצד הסבוינה שמנפש שמראה ולא ישפע שכל וכו' כנ"ל. But that part of Ava, which results in the recognition, how the Eibishter is removed, is not a direct result of this. But Cain, the Tanya Sinaiza, Shatan Tanya. Cain, Shalachain Masha Betanya, Avda Yishpeish, Abba Bachas Tuna, Vada B'Gus Hashem, B'Chal Ava Soilo. So even the Ava for Yishpeish, now he talks about Madrigas and Ava. There's Ava Soilam and Ava Rabba. So Ava Rabba is considered the higher level than Ava Soilam. Ava Soilam means Ava comes from his bonus from Oilam. And Ava Rabba is a higher level. He says in Tanya, when he talks about Ava Kirish Be'esh, it's part of Ava Soilam. I know Fishika Ava Bumta this bonus Ba'ara Lukisam High Soilam. So actually, they came about the Kol Be'alatim the Shliach the Shah Ba'ara Kanal. This is continuation of what I explained earlier. Even the higher level of Av, which is the Av that comes from the recognition that the Eibishter himself is above everything, even that's called Ava Salem, because it's like we said earlier, it's the next step of the Isbainus in the early key, which is Machaya Salem. When that line of Shika, Ava Bam had his voice, well, because Machaya Salem. Actually, they came, but they called the Shliach the Shah, but that triggers the higher state of Ava that you don't want to stay in the lower level and connect to the higher. Mashenkin, I need a year, Ashbach is managed before, you know, call Ika, Erkashal, the Prince Arim is the Access. There's a NASA Prince Ear, Beetle, and After. So we finished discussing that era is a result of this bonus and how the Eibishter is above it, removed from it. The last few lines just explain what is it in that and Ava. But Ava, the highest level of Ava Krish Peish is also a result of the recognition how the Eibishter is removed. But there's the subtle difference between them. What is the emphasis? In the Ava, the emphasis is, that's an Ikka. The emphasis here is how it starts through Ava to the Olam. In the era, the emphasis is to show how the Eibishter is removed. But now he tells us, I will call there for Yochid Saints. This level of ear, because he just described, which is a result of the recognition that the Eibishter is removed from everything, that is only Yochid Saints. Yes, you're but there's a higher level of ear. That is another level, another type of contemplation. Contemplation, the Eibishter is here right with us. Shekol in a schakos v'shunoim ba'or shenasa v'chines ma'ilo mata. The changes and divisions in the early key, in the division between top and bottom, higher and lower, all these divisions and changes are only a function of the gilui, of the lower level. That's musa, ain't shelo klav, and from the kind of malamambers, but it's not funny. It's sad from the Eibishter's perspective. Ain't shelo klav. There's not need for malamambers. The Eibishter is everywhere equally, even in the lowest level. Less as upon there's no space, which is where he's not there. Shekotzu Betanya brings another Tanya from in the Perek Mem Aleph. In Havai Nitzav Olav Mamish. Chol Mokom Shu. So that's another Isbonus. The first Isbonus are great Eibishter, but now the Isbonus are the Eibishter right with him. Nitzav Olav Mamish. The male people of a year of Arfes Pnimis. Lies bottle b'mehusel gamlo. So that brings out even a deeper level of Ira. That is, the beetle is a much deeper level. The first deep beetle, like you said earlier, is like a king who's far. So you talk Ira, but it's removed. But if you feel that it's right here in here, it totally consumes the person and his bottle again. So we have also there these two types of era have also martial from a king. The ear, like we explained earlier, the ear, the fear, the awe, the respect we have to the king is because so they so removed, so move them and separated. Even though we don't see the king sits in, like you said earlier, in his palace, in his closed room. So what type of level of fear is it? He knows the king is great, so he's afraid to rebel against him. He's knows there's a king out there sitting in his palace, and he's the greatest person, and he has the full power. So that instills it causes him a feeling of fear and awe and respect. So mainly, he's not going to rebel against him. But then there's another level of fear. If he's standing in front of the king, he goes to meet the king, and the king is in front of him. That's a total level, much deeper level of fear, because in that case he comes totally nullified. Okay, that's pretty. This is one of the Mashanim we can relate to somehow. Thing about Voido, so what is the name? Sure, Shiur, Abam had his brain is done so for a bit of a nefesh, Alain the bit of Mastagam. So the first point that we spoke earlier, that these bonus are great day, which there is a remove that could spoil Alain the bit of Mastagam, but you can't say it's totally lost, essentially. Chayim is bonus, whether it's something so matter, Milo. Mashiach the second body. Is the means of a He is here just like Lamaila. And B'chol Mokum Shehu Abai Nitzav Olav, and the point is that any place is the Eibush is Nitzav Olav, Nasal is Beetle, V'mu'usa V'gama V'ein it Tafas Mokum Atzma Klav. So then it's a much deeper level of people. You ain't Tafas Mokum Atzma. Remember, the Gemara says, Man the Machal Machal Kama Malka Chayim Mistik. You stand in front of the king, you can't even move. If you do the wrong movement, Chayav Misa just doesn't just mean a technical legal issue. Chayav Misa means you lose you can't do anything in front of the king. Really, what do we say? After this we see that these two modes of feelings, the Ava and Ira. Ava is the meaning of Gilui and Nefesh, and Ira is the meaning of Kibbutz and Bittul. Chayin Matzino be'inyan Torah mitzvahs, Sha'ava and Hasamag Lamachnis. So you have to slice this. Says in the source, it says in Tanya. I think it's this. It says over the Rebbe, the source in the Pirush. They say the Pirush and Rambam say that the difference Ava and Irosh, Ava Marker Lamachnis Sesa, Irosh Hasam Tifloises. Avas Hashem is the source of mitzvah, and Irosh Hasam Tifloises. Sha'ava is God's never gets to skill with breakers of the course. How can you try to say that? Ava, the concept of Ava was its entire thrust and direction is from a skilled way because you want to connect, you want to be close to the Eibishter. B'meile, that what does it push you to do? To do mitzvahs. I say mitzvahs. Not going to go the regular course. So a person wants to connect to the Eibishter. How is he going to connect to the Eibishter? He has to give him. They give me to like it doesn't tell me. The real connection of the Eibush is to the mitzvahs. And the other opposite mode, which is the people, the era, that Nasa clearly is Sumera. That turns the opposite direction. Is Sumera, removes himself from evil. He can't do anything which is against the Eibishter's will. So the era, the fear creates a feeling that he doesn't want to rebel. We said earlier that the lack of rebellion is even in the regular year, in the higher year. Okay, so we described, from this Alarichas till now, he described the two concepts of Ava and the way they work, the levels within Ava the way they work in Avodas Hashem. This is the way the midas are. Remember, he started talking earlier in the Maimah. He's talking Avodah, that we have that Ava Chesed. He spoke over the language of Chesed and Gvur. Chesed and Gvur are opposites. Chesed means abundance of giving. Gvur is the opposite, withholding. And he spoke about how the Pechas Atzmim above Atzilus in Nimshul, each one is on its own. And then there's its colors. Now he talks about how this is an Avodah. So first it's described in Avodah, you have the Ava, which is the Ilui and Nefesh, and you have the Ira, which is the Tzivutz. So the way we describe Ava and Ira in Avodah, the last 2 pages, these two modes are opposite. The ultimate avoid level of avodas Hashem is that the aviyah should be kal, it should be combined. That they should be interconnected. Should be together. Both opposite feelings should both come together. You should be happy with trepidation, with the order. So the Gemara says, in the same place of Gila, which is joy and happiness, it should be order. It should be in a state of fear, and the order means trepidation. Then we see the opposite. So that in this case, sounds what is Bizgal? Bizgal is the Gila. You feel happy, you're joyful, but within it is hidden the Ra'od, Shamte Ra'od. It's a Behelim. Behelim yesh b'pchinas ira sha'od. Person is in a state of excitement and joy, but deep inside his heart, he feels the opposite feeling. He's in a state of awe. And then there's also an opposite. It says chola, we say in davening, so Yerucha means ear. Izamu means the opposite, gila. So what happens in this case? That's the opposite. Sha'iro begili belev. Chola means begilui. In the revealed state, Yerucha in the state of ear. Zimra sha'ava misteres v'kiv. The zimra, which is zamur shmecha, zimra means song, which is a state of joy that's bekerev close, that's deep inside, that's hidden. Okay, so the way he described it here is like something which he doesn't describe it actually works. He just says there is situations. The person is in a state of joy, but within it is hidden a feeling of fear, of awe, of respect, and then there's the opposite. The person is a state of fear, but within it is hidden a state of joy.
Probably there is a difference. Probably there is a difference if it's starting the Gilo or it's starting the Euro.
Okay, yeah, maybe it is how it starts. Okay. But we'll see what he says. He brings a mush. He can be a king who is in a state in a son's wedding, and he invites all his advisors and all his servants. They should celebrate with him by the table, by the Suda. Yes, Beis Minei Sod. So there are two types of Sod, two types of ministers. Aleph, there's the Ema Koyim Alamach Tomit Shema, V'sim Mayim Koyim Begila, Achashut Sim Alamach Mikul, Gam Ken Ozel, Al Ken V'sachem Begila. Some people, when they come, when there's a very important person, a king in that case, invites them to his simchas, because they are close to him, he knows them, so they are in a state of real joy and excitement. They show everybody their excitement. While they're all excited and happy and jumping, singing, but deep inside they have a feeling of respect for the king. That's why they keep in mind that there's a king here. They can't just be totally frivolous. So there's a certain discipline that's hidden within them. Yes, and there's the opposite. Some people that usually the king doesn't socialize with them, but because they made a big simcha, they invited them also. So what happens there? For him is so when they sit at the table to eat together with the king, they have the opposite feeling of they sit in a state of fear. They have Okay. He uses a lot of words to describe this experience, which means that when you look, basically put it in our own words, so that when a king invites his advisors and servants to his simchas, the ones who are close to him always, they are, to them you can see that they're loose and excited and happy, but deep inside they have this respect. And then the people he doesn't really know that well, and he just invited them, so they sit very tense because they don't know of the experience being so close to the king, so they're very tense and stay all, but at the same time, deep inside, they're very happy that they were able to come to the king's simcha. So that's the mashal. That's the mashal. It's in the nimshul. You'll see how it works. The first is like you said. The first it sounded like what starts it. It's a I'm saying most son. Hey, it doesn't. That's it. That's as far as it gives us an explanation. I mean, I guess we can derive a little bit from the marshal that I guess in the nimshal also depends what the person state the person is in avodas Hashem. If he's let's say if he's a tzaddik, let's say if he's a person who feels that he's similar to the song Koyim Melamelech, the person is a tzaddik, so he has. Galus, he has the happiness, and hidden is the ira. Mashenkin, a person is a lower level, like Bainani, so he has, okay, maybe that's the difference. Okay, so here we see these scholars that they have both feelings. Remember earlier when he spoke about Avavir, not in Avayda, he spoke about how sometimes the Chesed and the Gvura are in the same act, Basha Mishpat Hashem Pa'olen. The same act has both the chesed and the gvur. It's similar in avoda. Yesh is galus shabaim kechad mamish. How does it describe that? Shezeo pchinas isayos rachem rabim al atzmi shos pchinas shifol zebitl b'naf shemach v'darek v'olikus. V'amavu keshosh achavetz v'kivatz Hashem v'u be'emes od mekul v'zolikus. So remember earlier when he spoke about the But the midas themselves, not in avodah, he said that you have that sometimes that there is skalus gemur, that the same act is both chesed and gvur, and he said that comes from tiferes. It's a similar situation happens in avodah also, that sometimes the avavira are together, and that's a result of rachmin rabin, which sometimes rachmin is also a kind of tiferes. What is rachmin rabin? That when a person is in a state of rachamim, he's ma'ir milmaylo. The mercy, so that he says has two opposites. On one end, shifos bitl benafshem achos arichuk, which is in a way that it's like the era. In order to be ma'ir rachamim, in order to elicit rachmanis, mercy, that's a result of feeling afar you are, like when a poor person comes to you and wants you should have Rahmanis on him. So it describes how a terrible situation is. So Rahmanis is in a way something that's illicit, that you arrive through this bonus, how low you are, how far you are. Same time, it doesn't describe it so clearly. So in other words, at the same time, the fact that you want the Eibush to Rachmanis on you, that shows a certain closeness, because if you fall, you have Rachmanis, you have nothing to do with it. So the Rachmanis expresses a certain level of connection. Yesh was a Beis HaFochim, so it shows how the Beis HaFochim is.
I'm sorry, what's the Mevukash? I didn't get that.
What is the goal? Mevukash means the goal. The goal is Chavet B'Kirvas Hashem. He recognizes Afaris, he needs Achmanis, and Mevukash. What's his goal?
Expected from him, no?
Yeah, not expect from him. Yeah, the goal. Mevukash is goal. Yeah, goal that's expected, of course. Mevukash hu Chavet B'Kirvas Hashem. U'be'emes im Kol V'Zalon. So he describes better what it is. What is a shnei hafachim? Yesh was a shnei hafachim ke'echad. Then it's a shifel samaris mit the rich, but it's a avakir, and it's a chayfes leiskal. So we have these two opposites: the feeling of distance and the feeling of yearning to connect. The male of zev chamidas at tiferish kala avir ke'echad. Ke'echad mamash. V'aynu shebichlal in Tiferes brings another description. So that's what's interesting about the midas of Tiferes. So sometimes Tiferes means Tiferes beauty, and sometimes Tiferes is rachman, which is mercy. So now it says how they're connected, sort of. So bichlal midas of Tiferes is like takol bikor the mouth. The way it's described in Tanya, we just learned the Laskil Chabina. What's the Tanya we learned the simon that describes the spheres. So he says Tiferes is this takor bikor the malka, the viewing the beauty, the glory. Tiferes is glory. What's meant this? She'inin hayofi means beauty. She'inin hayofi dach l'shesh is kalus arba gvan. She'inin gvan echad ein ze Tiferes klar. The concept of beauty, says, is a combination of colors. If you have one color, you can't call it beauty, because one color is too bland. The beauty is the result of a combination of colors, the colorfulness. So that's what's the name. That means that is kalus agvan only when the colors are combined. As also okay, so now this is actually a challenge, because it's possible that he's saying the two separate things. First he spoke about Rachim, and then he spoke about Tiferes. But it's also sound. Maybe it's the same idea. I mean, we can see the connection also. How similar it is. You have both sides. You have the Rachmanis as a combination of two opposite feelings, feeling of distance and the feeling of connection. And Tiferes is also the combination of two opposite gvanim, the two opposite colors. Both of them are the result in this feeling of base of Pchinas Davei Ekech. So that's how we finish describing the Ava and Ira and Tiferes. Calls up as Atzmis Amidas, as Chagas. So these three midas we just described is the Atzmis. That's the essential midas. Chesed Gvul Tiferes. Aber yesh andere midas who's first Netzach HaYisod. Then you have the branches, which is the Netzach HaYisod. Shebechal Netzach Hanach HaChesed Ve'oid Hanach HaGvul. Netzach and Hoid are the branches of Chesed and Gvul. Makom Geshul Gankem Chesed is called the Netzach Nasa Anaf HaIr Ve'oid Anaf HaAv. These two, Netzach Bechal is connected to Chesed, and Hoid is connected to Gvul. But there's also a certain level of combination that one has the opposite. So now he's going to delve into it, how it works in Avodas Hashem, what is Netzach and what is Hoid, and how they're combined. The Inyan Netzach and Nefesh Chesed, when we say that Netzach is a branch of Chesed, Chesed brings Ava ben Nefesh Gil Vekes Nefesh Lekus. The Inyan of Netzach means Chesed Bechlal is the Ava, like you said. Chesed means kindness, love. Gil Vekes Nefesh Lekus. Bechlal Yeruchnis Amidas Shemsar Ba'ava Lekus. It's a general spiritual emotion that he is inspired to be in a state of Ava Tzalikus. When can a person stay in this state of, in this spiritual state? On davening. So during davening, when a person is constantly busy, he's saying the psukim that talk about the greatness of the Eibishter, and his mind is contemplating and delving into this concept of connecting the Eibishter. Then you have the Gilui Al Kol Hayom Lo Yochel Liz Matei Ochnis Kazu. The rest of the day cannot be in such a high state. Kim B'Shas Atfilah Sh'oz V'Zkash L'Zmanis. I'm sorry. Al Kol Hayom Lo Yochel Liz Matei Ochnis Kazu. Kein Oinen HaNetzach HaNafa. So the Netzach is the branch of the Ava that remains with him even after davening. This is like the impression that's left with him from the feeling of Ava that he had during davening, the impression that's left with him throughout the day. This is called Netzach. So Netzach is not as abstract. It takes a step back. The regular Ava is doing davening, that's a strong feeling in his heart. There's highest Rav, and it's a lot of life force. That's a result of the Asaga, the understanding, in the contemplation, the highest Rav, Ba'ava, B'Yisgalu, Hashem. But after davening, when he stops thinking about it, when his mind is left that mode, he's not into davening. Now he's living his life. He's busy. So the Ava itself, the Chesed itself, is stopped. It's stopped. But like I said, the impression of the original Ava is left with him. Okay, I understand with the Gankel Chayes Tzas. So that's what describes Netzach. Again, to reiterate, besides this, the Netzach and Chesed. Chesed is the feeling that he has during davening when he's in a state of high spiritual awareness. And Netzach means the impression that this spiritual awareness affects his life when he's in a regular mode of when he's removed from davening.
But what's he talking about? The Ruchnius Amidu and then Gashmius Amidu. This is.
It didn't say the word Gash.
It doesn't say gasher, but they said without the ruchnius.
Ruchnius means, like I said, ruchnius means when the person is in davening, is in a spiritual state. He's busy with his mind and his heart, being in a state of spiritual awareness, spiritual excitement. Later in the day, he's busy with his own life, so his spirituality is not as expressed. So but it still has an impression, a shimmer of the original feeling. That's what we call netzach. Netzach means the residual of the feeling of Ava.
But probably Netzach is having something for itself. You cannot say that Netzach is chesed in a lower level.
That's what it says. Okay, first of all, you're right. It says now there's another point in Netzach, but that's why he said Netzach is a nafa chesed. It's a branch of, it's an extension of chesed. It's a lower level of chesed. Yeah, actually that's exactly what he says. But he says Oid Yeshkin is basement in Netzach. But in addition, Netzach has another aspect to it. Where the first aspect is Netzach means the lower level extension of chesed. Oid Yeshkin is basement is nitzochen levad. Vem is the close from chayes v'gili. Nitzochen means that the person says he has the drive to win, not to give in. Shem is from chayes v'gili. There's no chayes. That now he's talking about a person netzach, not even doing davening. Doing davening is a person whose level of ava is not as high as real chesed. Some there is some people, he doesn't have the ability to contemplate in such a way that he has actual real feeling of Ava, which has that feeling. It's God's Liebe. In Ava, Ava is a feeling, right? Because Yeshna it's a level of Megillah as a Ava, because it's a lot of as a Megillah. Ava is something which is it's a feeling in the heart. So either you have it or you don't. Either you feel or you don't feel. There is a mitzvah of Ava, which is called after Savalika. So all you do that tzivah is bonus lawyer. So the tzivah is, how do we tell somebody you have to love? You can't command. Famous question of feelings. Cannot make it see. You can't command someone to feel a certain way. Feeling something comes within you. Either you feel or you don't, like it says. Kasha yeshna, kasha eina. So actually, the tzivah is bonus. But emes achad is bonus. Likud surface for the savagam called likud. He goes into another discussion. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. Start this discussion again. All right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I think that in Nitzochen there is something else. All the Ma'amorim of Yud Shvat are talking about Nitzochen. So there is something special in Nitzochen that is separate, I think, from what he's saying here.